Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. So this is the second video I've done today. The first one we made some blue cheese and walnut shortbread, which are divine. Very blue cheesy, so if you don't like blue cheese, you might not like them. But they are so buttery and just melt in your mouth. They're delicious. Anyway, beside the point. But we're also doing, I'm cooking tea tonight, and we're doing spaghetti carbonara. Now, I'm pretty sure I've already done a video on this, but I can't remember. So I'm just going to do another one. We're going to be a little short of videos for the next couple of months because we had a lightning storm here and it fried my surge board plus the hard drive in my computer. So my computer's away at the moment, getting repaired, but also they're trying to recover my data off the hard drive, which I don't know. I think they said it could be, they said, it could be in the thousands. So they're going to send me through a quote once they've had a look at it, and then we'll decide. But it's just making it a bit hard for me with the videos because I've got to be able to edit them and put them somewhere so I can upload them to YouTube. So I won't be able to have won't have a store of them that I can schedule and that. So, but anyway, that's beside the point. But we're going to do, I thought I would bring you along while we cook the spaghetti carbonara. Now this one it's a 30-minute meal, absolutely delicious. I mean, I didn't know I liked spaghetti carbonara. Well, I didn't like spaghetti carbonara because I was just caught up with the raw egg thing at the end, but so I would never even taste it. But making it myself with the Thermomix, I made it for my kids, and then I tasted it, and it is absolutely delicious, and I love it so much. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to start cooking, and I've got it saved to my week. So I've got a few things saved to my week. I've got the walnut and blue cheese shortbread, which I've done. $250 choc chunk cookies. I didn't get to them, but I did make the sourdough starter discard English muffins. We're about to make spaghetti carbonara. I've done the basic bread. I've done 2 double batches of sweetened condensed milk, and I made a batch of mashed potatoes to go in the freezer for frozen mashed potatoes. So I've done that. And that's what I've done with my Thermomix. I've also made a couple of loaves of almond bread and some sugared nuts. But anyway, so let's get on with tea. So it says spaghetti carbonara, start cooking. So I did, when I was making the almond bread, it used 6 egg whites. So I used 2 egg yolks in my shortbread, and I'm going to use the other 4 in the spaghetti carbonara. And that's instead of, you're supposed to use 3 whole eggs and a single egg yolk. So we're just going to use the egg yolks. I'm not a big fan of the egg whites in there anyway, so let's see. The bowl is a little bit damp, and I think I need a dish to put this in. Hang on. It's a little bit damp, but that's okay. Now it says 60 grams of Parmesan cheese and 30 grams of pecorino cheese, which is optional. So I've got, this is like half a block of Parmesan cheese, and I don't know, let's see how much it weighs. 83 grams. And we're going to put the lid on, and we're going to grate that. 10 seconds, speed 10. And I do have a bowl to put it in. Okay. And I think now we've got to rinse the mixing bowl. Yep, clean and dry the mixing bowl. So rightio. That is what I am going to do, and I'll be back. There's so many things that Thermomix does that I love. And one of them is grating Parmesan cheese. We used to always buy the Kraft grated Parmesan off the supermarket shelf. And since I have my own Thermomix, since I bought a Thermomix, I haven't purchased a single bottle of that. Rightio. That was 10 seconds on speed 10. Let's find the camera. Rightio. I'll give this a wash and then I'll be back. Rightio. One clean, dry mixing bowl. And now we're going to add 30 grams of shallot or brown onion. So that's just 2. Oh, so there's no scales on that, so they didn't even really care. And we're going to chop that. 3 seconds on speed 5. I know I've got olive oil somewhere. Here it is. Scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl. Okay. I love those shallots, those little sweet red onions. I just love them. We can't get them in Claremont, so when I go away, I generally buy a kilo or so. Okay, so this is 150 grams of pancetta or bacon. It's still a little bit frozen, this, but that's okay. Because what I do is I buy chopped bacon. It's Gillies, I think the brand is, and it's real bacon chopped. It's real bacon, and I love it. 20 grams of extra virgin olive oil. One of my things is, when I go away I buy those shallots, but one of my things is that I'm really, I really am conscious of, and that's buy local. And we've got 2 IGAs in town, and I shop at both of them. And then also, like the other day, I buy the whole wheat grains to make my bread, the basic bread that I make. It's got the 100 grams of whole wheat grains, and you mill it and then add it to your bread, and I love that bread. And I've always gone, when I go to Townsville, there's an Asian food shop I go to, and I usually buy 4 or 5 1 kilo bags of the wheat grain, bring it home and throw it in the freezer. Now the other day I've got no plans to go to Townsville anytime soon, and I was going through, and I've got like that much left. I've probably got 300 grams of the wheat grains left, and I thought, and I did, I went to both the IGAs and I had a bit of a look around, and they had none there. And so I was just sitting there looking, online shopping, trying to find where I could buy it from. And then the thought occurred to me that across the road from where I work, we've got Ornabella's, and they have a health and wellness section. And I ducked across there, and lo and behold, they're ordering me a 5 kilo bag, and it's cheaper than the stuff that I was buying in Townsville. So shop local. Rightio, so we're going to keep going here, and we're going to put the measuring cup on. 5 minutes at 120 degrees on speed 1, and I'll be back. Rightio. And now we're going to put this into one of these thermal serving dishes until we're ready for it. Smells delicious. Who doesn't love bacon and onion fried? Probably lots of people. So this Gillies chopped bacon, it's like it's got the really nice smoky flavour and aroma. Rightio. And now we're going to boil the water to cook our pasta. So we've got 1200 grams of water. So I've tared the scales because because I'd taken the bowl off and put it back on and the scales were no longer at 0. Okay. So I don't know if you noticed those lights changing from red to green. So that is, we go back here. Once the bowl gets to 45 degrees, the lights turn red, or around, it might be 50 degrees, but the light turns red. And that's just to let you know that that bowl is warm to touch. It's sort of a warning. So now I've gone out of the recipe to take us to the front page, but if there's a little green bookmark, so if I tap on that, it'll take us back to the recipe where we were. Half a teaspoon of salt. I can't find my teaspoon measure, and that usually means I've left it in a container where I was using it. Like, I've looked in the salt, I've looked in the baking powder, I've looked in the yeast, but I am going to find it. And now we're going to put the lid on with the simmering basket. "10 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 1. And we're going to bring the water up to the boil. I mean, if that's not at 100 degrees when it gets to 10 minutes, I'm going to give it a bit of extra time, because then we're going to cook the pasta. Rightio. So now it says, without the measuring cup, add 350 grams of dried spaghetti. So you can choose to break it in half or leave it long. We like it long. Now I'm not going to put 350 grams, I'm going to put that much. That's 250 grams, because there's only 2 of us, and we'll have a little bit for leftovers for tomorrow, but yeah, I don't want oodles of leftovers, and it doesn't freeze. It does freeze. It freezes quite well, but it's like there's a lot more things that I can freeze that are more delicious, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we've got time on the package is 9 minutes, is how long it says. Oops. And then speed 1 with the blade in reverse, and that will cook. And as it cooks, it'll pull that down into the bowl. So and you don't have to do anything. You can just leave that there, and as it softens, it'll wind around the blade and it'll pull it down, and it doesn't take that long at all. So it's nearly all gone now. Rightio. and I'll be back when that's cooked. So it's time to check the pasta. I'm going to give that another 2 minutes. It still tastes a little bit, I don't know, raw in the middle probably. And I'll be back. So we'll go next. And it says to drain the spaghetti through your aroma dish. So, I mean, this is, I don't own a colander anymore. This is all I use for a colander. So I've had a Thermomix for a long time. That looks weird. Got a bit of an optical illusion happening there. Okay. Oh, that's steamy. So I'll just show you, it's a bit twisted round the blade. So if we turn the blade, it will fall off, and if it's not, then we can just hook it off. I'm making this harder than it need be. Sorry, I was trying to be too dainty. Just pull it off with your hands. It's a lot faster. Rightio. All out. And now we're going to pop it into the bowl with the bacon. I'm just going to give that a quick toss through while the pasta's still a bit hot. Just give it a toss through to get some of the juices from the bacon and the onion that's sitting, the shallot that's sitting in the bottom of that dish. Get it all stirred through the spaghetti. Rightio. So now, this is the fast bit. So mix well with the spatula and keep warm. Quickly rinse the mixing bowl in cold water and dry. So, and it's just to cool it down a bit so that we don't cook our eggs too much. I'll be back. Rightio. So I'll just give that a dry out. That was just a really quick rinse out. It wasn't anything too elaborate. And now before the pasta has a chance to cool, we're going to place 3 eggs and an egg yolk. So I'm just going to pull that off there. because I'm a little bit short. Sometimes it's hard to reach into the bowl. So this is just 4 egg yolks. Now I've said that before because I use the egg whites in the almond bread. So this is my go-to recipe when I've got egg yolks. And that's probably the only time we cook it, is when I've got egg yolks left over from something. Oh, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So, I mean, I love trying new recipes. I really do. I love trying new recipes and, you know, experimenting with different ingredients. So we don't eat the same meals a lot, but there are a handful that we do, and this is one of them that we keep. 2 pinches of black pepper. That was just 1. And now we're going to pop the measuring cup in. 15 seconds, speed 4. Now I've kept the water here just in case we need a little more water in our pasta for the sauce. Because nothing thickens a sauce up like a bit of pasta water. Okay? Now we're going to pop that in here. And the heat from the pasta will cook the cheese, cook the egg yolk and melt the cheese. And that's why you're keeping it hot. Now I am going to add a bit of pasta water to that because it's a bit gluey, because we didn't add the egg whites in. So we just want a really nice light coating of sauce over the pasta. And that'll do. Look at that. Yum. So I just want enough sauce so that when you look at the bottom of the bowl, there's a bit of sauce on it. So I'm going to add 1 more little dribble of water, and then that'll do. So if you're looking at adding a bit of thickness to a sauce, then a pasta sauce, if you keep the water that you cook the pasta in, then there's a bit of starch in it, so it's it actually does a good job of thickening. Rightio. So I can't remember what, I used this to get the pasta out. It was actually I did something with it, but then I used it to get the pasta out of the bowl. Right, when I tested the pasta. So let's give this a taste. So I hate raw eggs, and this tastes nothing like raw egg. Absolutely delicious. And this is literally like a half-hour meal. It might be a bit more. It might take, 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes, but it is a really quick meal, and it uses stuff that you would generally have in your pantry, in your fridge. There's no elaborate ingredients. or anything. Quick, easy, delicious. Rightio. Yeah, so it says combine with spatula and serve immediately. And so I'm going to call the crowd for tea. And I'm going to put this lid on for a second and I'll clean up a little bit. Oh. Rightio. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please give it a thumbs up, pop over to my channel and subscribe, and I really hope I'll see you next time.